My name is Marit Solom. I work as a management and program analyst on the digital engagement team for Education Service. So here's today's agenda. I'm going to do an overview of the GI Bill vision and mission. We're going to look at some of the GI Bills and operations. Then we're going to take a little bit of a dive into the GI Bill overview of programs and then talk about transfer of entitlement. We're going to talk about the GI Bill comparison tool. We're going to talk about personalized career planning and guidance, also known as PCPG. Talk a bit about the Yellow Ribbon program, the STEM scholarship. We have quite a few student resources to share with you. And apologies, we are not going to talk about Rudisill because there's some pending changes to Rudisill, but I will give guidance on that in the Q&A period if you need it. So then we'll go into the question period. So just to get started, the overall mission or vision of Education Service is to be the recognized leader in VA for benefits delivery and customer service. And the mission is to provide timely and accurate delivery of education benefits. I'm not going to go through the whole mission, but mostly we're here to help veterans, service members, and their families to get their education. We have the different pillars of education service: customer service excellent, continuous improvement, platform and technology enhancement, and people advocacy. So one of the biggest things that we have going for platform and technology enhancement is the digital GI Bill. This has been something that we've been working on since 2019, and it helps automate our systems to get you your benefits more quickly. The large-scale goals of GI Bill are to expand opportunities for veterans so you can pursue the academic goals. This helps enhance the economic strength with innovative and programs that support employment for the entire nation. And this also helps enrich our communities by adding diversity that veterans bring to the table. So this is a map of our 2 processing offices. We used to have more than this, but we just have 2 now. So we have Buffalo. So if you live in a state that is blue, your claim would be processed in Buffalo. And if you're in any of the orange areas on this map, your claim would be processed in Muskogee. There are a few exceptions to that. If you're going to a foreign school, or if you participate in work study, all of our work study is processed out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. So that's just a brief overview of our operations of where we're processing your claims. These numbers are from fiscal year 24. We have not published our fiscal year 25 numbers yet, but we did provide education opportunities to more than 901,000 beneficiaries. I'm not going to go through everything on this slide, but I think some of the numbers are pretty awesome to cover. There was more than $12 billion of education benefits provided in fiscal year 24. And in terms of approved schools, we have over 17,700 approved schools. And underneath each of the schools, we do programmatic approvals, and there's over 37,000 programmatic approvals. We also have 19,322 OJT and apprenticeship sites approved. When people think about the GI Bill, they oftentimes think of like an associate's, a bachelor's, or a master's, but we also do have other training types available, including OJT and apprenticeship. Just another little blip on this slide. Typically with original applications, the average was 24 days in fiscal year 24. With our modernization with the digital GI Bill, that is getting a lot quicker. Sometimes people even get their decision the day that they submitted their application. About 12 days to work the enrollments that come in, and we have a payment accuracy of over 95% in 24. And just a history kind of timeline on the bottom of this slide. the GI Bill was established back in 1944, and there's been a lot of milestones that we've gone through. And then 2021 was when the digital GI Bill modernization, I thought it was 2019, apologies for that. 2021 is when that began. So there's been a lot of history with the GI Bill since 1944. So we're going to get kind of in the meat and the potatoes of each of the benefits now, which I'm sure that's why you're all here, is to hear about that. So when I think about our GI Bill benefits, I like to think of them as our Chapter 33 benefits and our non-Chapter 33 benefits. So the first benefit that we are going to talk about is the post 9/11 GI Bill, and we also refer that as Chapter 33. And sometimes you'll even see it be referred to as PGIB as well. So sometimes it's used interchangeably, but just know that those are the three ways that we typically refer to them. The benefits that one can receive through the Chapter 33 is tuition and fees, monthly housing allowance, a books and supplies stipend, and then if you live in a very rural area, there's very specific guidelines for what a rural area. It's a certain number of people per capita or per square mile. And so if you live in a rural area, you could look into this rural relocation. It's like a one-time payment if you're having to relocate to attend school. In terms of the benefits duration, the expiration, if your last day on active duty was on or after January 1st of 2013, there's not going to be any expiration for your benefits. If your last day on active duty was before that January 1st of 2013, your estimated termination date is 15 years from your last day on active duty. And the maximum amount of benefit that you can get with the post 9/11 GI Bill is 36 months. We also have certain eligibility requirements for each of the benefits. And for the post 9/11 GI Bill, you have to have started service on or after September 11th, 2001, received an honorable discharge, and then also one of the following must be true. You served for at least 90 days on active duty, or you served for at least 30 consecutive days on active duty with a service-connected disability, or you received a Purple Heart. Next, we're going to jump into the non-33 programs. So there's 4 of them that we're going to cover today. So we have first up the Montgomery GI Bill active duty. That's going to be a service requirement of 2 years of continuous enlistment. And that minimum duty may vary by the service in the branch. The maximum amount of benefits is 36 months. And then the benefits expiration is 10 years from your last day of active duty. So that's also referred to as the MGIB. So that's another way that you may hear of it. And then just again, I covered this a little bit in a previous slide, but I want to repeat it just because it's so important. A lot of people think of us just for coming to get a degree, an associate's, a bachelor's, a master's, but we also do offer non-college degree programs, cosmetology, truck driving, and then also on-the-job training and apprenticeship. There is a flight training that is available. There are some correspondence courses that are approved. And then there is an opportunity for reimbursement of licensing and certification tests and national test programs. I did talk a little bit about our work study program being processed in Muskogee, Oklahoma. It is a wonderful program. We had a webinar a couple months ago on work study, and that should be found on our YouTube. So if you go to the Outreach and Events website, Chris, if you could throw the website in the chat for the participants, you should be able to get to our YouTube playlist and find the work study webinar that we led a few months back. All the information in that is still up to date. And there is also an opportunity for tutorial assistance. The Montgomery GI Bill Selective Reserve, also known as Chapter 1606, that's for people that are serving in the selected reserve. and you have to have had 6 years of continuous enlistment. And the maximum amount of benefits is 36 months. And you're going to get all the benefits that I had mentioned with the Montgomery GI Bill. For the next benefit, this is not for veterans. This is for veterans' families. It's called the Dependents Education Assistance Program. We also call it DEA or Chapter 35. So there are no service requirements required of the family member, but there are specific eligibility requirements that the service member had to meet in order for a family member to be eligible. The maximum benefit months for this one is either 36 or 45 months. And that's kind of dependent on some different eligibility. And if you became eligible for this program before August 1st of 2023, a spouse has 10 to 20 years to use it, and a child can use it between the ages of 18 and 26 years old. And then if found eligible for this program after August 1st of 2023, there is no expiration. And that covers most of the same programs as the above, the Montgomery GI Bill, but it does not include the flight. The last one that I'm going to talk about is the Fry Scholarship. That's how we mostly think of it. It's the longer version is Marine Gunnery Sergeant John David Fry, but we typically refer to it just as the Fry Scholarship. Again, this is another benefit for family members, and that's good for 36 months of benefits. And then the child can use this until 33 years of age if found eligible before August 1st of 2023. And then if found eligible after August 1st of 2023, there's no expiration. And that's going to have all the same benefits included in the Montgomery. That was a lot of information. So hopefully you can take some time to digest that. Again, Chapter 33 is our most popular benefit, but these are some of the non-Chapter 33 benefits. I am going to talk a little bit about transfer entitlement. So this is not a VA program. This is a program through the Department of Defense. So in order to qualify for this program, you must be a member of the Armed Forces, and that does include the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association or Public Health Service. And then you have to have completed 6 years of service and agree to serve 4 additional years. And the person that you're transferring to has to be enrolled in DEERS, the Defense Enrollment Eligibility Reporting System. So we get a lot of questions about transfer of entitlement. This is not a VA program. So you do have to go through your branch in order to find out if you can be eligible for the transfer of entitlement. What happens if you are eligible? You can transfer up to 36 months of benefits unless the branch restricts the number of months. You can revoke or modify transfer request of any unused benefits unless the 15-year eligibility period has ended. You can transfer to spouse, children, or both in any amount up to the transfer that has available. You do use Mill Connect in order to make these transfers or change or revoke. But you have to do this before you get out. So that's the big thing with the transfer of entitlement. So you can make the transfer before you get out, but it can't be used for any future children that don't have their information in DEERS. If you have any service-specific questions about this program, you're going to want to talk to your career counselor or personnel center. All right, so the next awesome resource that we have for you all today is the GI Bill comparison tool. So this is a tool that does a lot of amazing things. So it allows you to kind of help you budget for school, and you can use it on a desktop or a mobile device. And you can compare 3 schools or institutions side by side and it's going to help you estimate like what your monthly housing allowance would be, find tuition rates. You can also use the map function and filter your results for a more user-friendly experience. So if you aren't in school yet, or even if you are, this is a really great tool to help you prepare a budget for when you're going to be in school, of what your monthly housing is going to look like, and then also like compare the schools side by side. I can't emphasize enough how amazing this tool can be. So it also has the opportunity to search for any licensing and certification tests that are approved for GI Bill reimbursement. PCPG, or Personalized Career Planning and Guidance, or Chapter 36. I hope you all have seen the theme here. We never just use one name for a program. It gets a little bit confusing, and I understand that. That's why I'm trying to give you everything that we use for acronyms and the chapter, and then also the full name. So this is a really great program, and it provides guidance where you get help to develop a career plan based on your unique goals. So they'll help you get assessed and determine what skills you may need to enter into a specific field, and help you find the best training program to meet your job goals. And then also uh, provide guidance on adjusting to the civilian world post-transition. So this is specifically for dependents using transferred benefits, or a veteran who has died or is rated permanently and totally disabled by VA. And it's also for veterans that have gotten out within the last year, I believe is the timeline on that. So this is a great benefit, Chapter 36. There is a separate application process for that, but it does help kind of do some career counseling. The next program that I'm going to talk about is the Yellow Ribbon program. This is another amazing program. I know I keep saying that about all the programs, but there's so many different things that can help you. So it's helpful to know about all of them so you can navigate your journey and get the most bang for your buck out of your benefits. So the Yellow Ribbon program is specifically designed to help pay for higher out-of-state or private school or foreign school or graduate school tuition and fees that maybe the post 9/11 GI Bill doesn't cover. So the post 9/11 GI Bill, I'm sorry, I'm having troubles with words. The post 9/11 GI Bill has a cap for each year. This year it's right around just above $29,000. There's a cap. So this program is designed to help with costs that are above and beyond that $29,000. So there is a link to the Yellow Ribbon tool. But the other part of the Yellow Ribbon is you have to be going to a school that has a Yellow Ribbon agreement with VA. So if you go to the Yellow Ribbon tool there, that's going to allow you to search for the schools that do participate in the Yellow Ribbon. And each school is in a different agreement with VA. So VA will match whatever they're going to contribute on top of that 29,000. So let's say the tuition is 39,000 and the school agrees to give 5,000, then VA will match that 5,000 so you won't have that $10,000 out of pocket expense. I hope that makes sense. Another program is the Edith North Rogers STEM Scholarship. So this scholarship is for folks that are studying science, technology, engineering, and math. So there are a lot of different things that you need to know about the Rogers STEM Scholarship if you are studying in any of those fields. This program offers up to 9 additional months of benefits that may not exceed $30,000. And it's for STEM undergraduate degrees, dual degrees, and certain clinical training programs. And those scholarships for STEM are awarded on a monthly basis. So the eligibility requirement for this is you have to have completed half of your program. So if you're in a semester program of 120 semester hours, you have to have completed at least 60 semester hours. If you're in a quarter-hour program of 180 hours, you have to have completed at least 90 quarter credit hours towards your degree. And then there's also a 6-month rule for this. You must apply when you have 6 months or less of your post 9/11 GI Bill or Fry scholarship benefits left. If you apply too early for this program, you will probably get denied and it will require you to reapply later. So you're just going to want to be mindful about making sure that you meet the eligibility requirements and the 6-month rule before you apply. And then if we do approve your application, you'll need to start using your scholarship within 6 months of your application. So it's a really great program, but there are some timeframes that you need to be aware of with that one. We do have a wide variety of student resources for you. We have a 3-part series called Building Your Future with GI Bill. We have the part 1, which is a guide to choosing your education pathway. And then part 2, a guide to understanding your benefits. And then part 3, a guide to navigating your career. So really, this webinar is kind of the start of the journey, and I really encourage you to take a read at those 3 guides. They are very helpful and kind of solidify some of the things that I've talked about here, and it is in a print format. We do have a dedicated phone line for survivors. So a surviving child or spouse can contact our education call center and select option 5. And that phone number is available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. Other resources that you should be aware of, our team does manage the GI Bill Facebook page. We do promote all of our webinars on the Facebook page. So make sure that you're on Facebook and following us there. We also have an email subscription. We also promote all of our webinars like this on our email subscription. So there's the link that Chris should be dropping for that. We do have the benefits.va.gov/GI Bill. That's the website that's going to get you all the information. I love that we have so many different web pages to talk about all the benefits that I've just covered, because they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you even just Google STEM scholarship or Fry scholarship, we have a dedicated web page for all of our different benefits, and it really does give a great overview of all the benefits and can link you out to some of the rates for each of the benefits. We will hold a question and answer period here in a few minutes. I just want to let you know that any very individual specific questions about your benefits, we're probably not going to be able to answer just because we don't have access to all the records the call center has at our fingertips. So if you do have some like very specific situation that you want to ask about your benefits, we do have the GI Bill hotline. It's the 1-888-442-4551. We also do have the number noted there for anybody that might be outside the United States. So you can either call, or we also have ask.va.gov. That's going to bring you to an website where you can submit your written question, and then our processors respond to your question in a written format. So anything that's very specific to your individual situation, you're going to want to direct your question to Ask VA or that GI Bill hotline. We also do have a GI Bill feedback tool. It helps us understand if anybody's experiencing any challenges with any of the approved facilities and programs that we have approved. So that is available as well. Just want to go a little bit into the active duty to civilian education transition. So if you are just getting off active duty, or even if you've been off for a little while, there's a really great way to maximize your benefits. You're going to want to request copies of your joint service transcript, or if you were in the Air Force, the Community College of the Air Force transcript, if you took any courses. and make sure you're giving those to the school that you plan on attending to see if they can offer you any credit from your joint service transcript or your community college of the Air Force transcript. A lot of times they'll offer you some credits for things that you did in the military. There's also the CLEP opportunity, college level examination program. Chris should be throwing the link to that into the chat. That allows you to take an examination to be able to kind of, they call it clepping out of a class. They also have some Dante's subject standardized tests that you may have taken. So if you've taken any of those or take any of those, you're going to want to make sure you have all of those records sent to your school so they can give you credit for anything that you've already done. And that is a requirement of the education facilities that are approved for GI Bill usage to assess whether you have any previous credits that they can give you credit for. That's just another reminder to sign up for our emails, but you should already have that link. So beyond your GI Bill benefits, we have a lot of different opportunities beyond the GI Bill benefits. Hiring Our Heroes is a good partner. They help veterans and I think military spouses find employment. We also have an awesome program called IBM Skills Build. And you want to make sure you get subscribed to our emails and then check out our Facebook page because that's where we promote the IBM Skills Build. You don't need any entitlement to participate in the IBM Skills Build, and it's going to offer you some credential opportunities through the IBM Skills Build. And again, if you're out of entitlement, don't have any entitlement left, that's going to be something you want to check out is those different opportunities with IBM Skills Build. There's a link there for the Warrior Scholar Project and then Children of the Fallen Patriots Foundation. We also have links for the federal student aid. A lot of times we get a lot of questions surrounding federal student aid. You don't have to apply for federal student aid to participate with the GI Bill, but sometimes it's a good idea to apply for it, even if you don't need scholar or to take out loans, because there are a wide variety of grants and scholarships that you may be offered if you qualify through the federal student aid application. There is a link for the Department of Labor registered apprenticeships. Just a little bit of a plug. We did do a webinar just a week ago on on-the-job training and apprenticeships. So on our events and outreach page, again, we record all of our webinars and publish a video of the webinars after they're complete. It does take us a minute to get them published, so that one probably isn't up there yet. But you can take a look at all the other webinars. We did one on licensing and certification back in October. We've done some really great webinars if you're looking for like more information on other webinars that we've done. But last week, we just did that one with the Department of Labor on apprenticeships and on-the-job training, and it was very informative. A lot of veterans ask us what to do if they don't have any entitlement left. I did mention the IBM Skills Build. Each state has a Veterans Affairs office, and each state tends to have their own kind of state GI Bill program. I lived and worked in Wisconsin for a period of time. They have a pretty amazing GI Bill program where they just offer a seat in a course up to 126 credits. And you can check with the state of Wisconsin if you live there. State of Minnesota has like a dollar amount in a lifetime. I think it's $10,000 or $15,000. I know the Hazelwood Act in Texas. So there's, I don't know what all of them are. But we do have a link to the state's Veterans Affairs office. So you may want to check with your state to see if they have any veteran education benefits available to you. So there's a link there for that. So with that, I really want to thank you all for your time today. And please follow us on Facebook. We do respond to questions there, or call the GI Bill hotline, or reach out through Ask VA. Thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful day.